Yeah, when I'm with you, I have fun. The world is lazy, but you and me, we're just crazy. So when I'm with you.
This week we're going to trace a rather counterintuitive career arc from child actor to rising indie rock sensation. Bethany Cosentino is the voice and the brains behind Best Coast. We interviewed her as part 2 of our ongoing collaboration with eMusic. eMusic asked us to co-curate their Selects program. That's where they identify great unsigned bands and release their music exclusively for a few weeks.
Cosentino and I'm 4 years old. Wish I could be part of that world. Beautiful jewelry.
You say that you never wanted to end.
You were 15 years old and major labels were knocking and you said, go away?
Yeah. My dad was pissed. Like, my parents were sort of like, why are you doing that? But
You would be Hannah Montana.
yeah, exactly. Like, I could have been Hannah Montana, but I just wasn't ready for it. And in a way, it introduced me to songwriting. It was my first sort of bout with songwriting, so it was a really cool experience. And I listen to the stuff sometimes, I'm like, God, that's so cheesy, and I just had my heart broken. So a lot of the stuff is about my ex-boyfriend from when I was 15. And when you're 15 and you get broken up with, you know,
Right.
it's like very intense.
Right, but that guy was
So-
an asshole.
he wasn't really an asshole. I think maybe I was a little bit more dramatic about it than I needed to be, but. I remember one time like being on the subway and like California Dreaming came on my shuffle and I like wanted to start crying. I was just like, because I finally knew what it felt like to like experience that California Dreaming. Because when you hear that song in LA, you're like, yeah, whatever, like, you know, California Dreaming, all the leaves are brown. Not here, you know. And I realized that like dropping out of college was a really kind of crazy thing to do. But at the same time, it was like, I didn't care because I was miserable. I was miserable going to college. I was miserable living in New York. And when I got back to California, it was just like, this is what I want to be doing.
But
know?
if you hadn't come to New York,
Exactly. That's the thing, and that's why I always, and that's another reason why I'm like, I don't hate New York. Like, to some extent, New York became my muse for California. It was like this weird kind of twisted thing.
but you have nailed the sound. I mean, it sounds beachy.
That's the way boys are. That's the way boys are.
I think one writer said something like, the lyrics seem like something ripped out of a 16-year-old's diary.
I like that.
You do? Is that what you're going
I
for?
mean, the thing about the lyrics is like all the 50s and 60s girl group stuff is all about heartache. It's not so much that the songs are necessarily about specific situations in my life at the current moment. Some of them, you know, might be from the past, but for the most part, it's just me kind of sort of trying to do a little bit of, you know, like an homage to the songs of that era, because that's sort of what they did.
So if your ex-boyfriends hear these songs, they shouldn't necessarily
Most
think
of
they're
my
about-
ex-boyfriends hear these songs and think that they're about them.
Oh, they do?
I mean, there are a few songs that are about people, and like I have like kind of made the mistake of telling that person like, this song's about you, and then I'm like, why did I do that?
Oh, baby, I want you to know. Be with you, but I'll never let it show. Because the moment that I tell you
often do you actually go to the beach?
Not that often. I went to the beach maybe twice this summer. I'm not actually that into the ocean. I'll go in the ocean, but I'm afraid of like deep water.
So you're a huge surf rock poser.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the deal.
I'm just a poser. Yeah, I am a poser.